Also unintentional bullying, and that really comes into, I believe, is the self-awareness, making the so-called bully more self-aware. So if they are, the one bullying claim I was giving you an example of, the senior managers, he ended up banging a table in a meeting, but he also used to shout a lot. Or just talk loud, generally, even in the mediation, he talked much louder than myself or she did. But that was, in some ways, him. He was, it was kind of his persona, his personality or whatever. And he did not realise the effect on others until what I used to do with him in the mediation was stop them and say, okay, what's going on here? And actually get him to, what I'll talk about later, is meta view, separate himself out of the situation and look at what's going on. And the louder his voice raised, the more, she would sort of cower, and actually get him to realise the impact of his behaviours on her in the moment. So it's always great when you see those kind of behaviours in a mediation. Wonderful. That's what you want. You actually want to see some of these behaviours in front of you, because then you can call them very gently. Just stop. What's going on? How are you feeling right now? And the parties will do the work for themselves. How are you feeling? How are you feeling? And they will actually say how they're feeling. And when they say how they're feeling, then you actually get them talking about it. Okay, so you're passionate about what you're saying. Okay, so that's why your voice is raised. Oh, okay. And that's leading you to feel scared.
Stiff because
yeah.
it sounds angry to me.
Yes. And so that's when you get that, okay, so I'm just being myself. And that's how you can get unintentional bullying claims. And in fact, that's what that particular case, that was the result, was this really different personalities, really like extreme extrovert, very passionate, very intelligent person with another person who was also extremely talented and intelligent, but very different. One a real creative thinker, and the other one the more strong on the risk analysis type stuff. One a real detailed note taker and had to have all the everything in order, whereas the other one would, so for instance, would come to a meeting with pages of notes, very well prepared, and want to go through all the list, whereas he would turn up, oh yeah, pull it out of his head. So extremely different styles. So that was one of the biggest, my role was actually getting them to own their own style and say, yeah, this is me, this is what I'm at, but also how that then translates into the other person. What effect does that have on someone who's completely the opposite?